All right, man.
And it's option B, fold.
It's the Barry Show, ladies and gentlemen. And here's your host. It's Barry.
Mr. Greenstein.
Ace on the river.
Ace on the flop didn't hurt.
So round one went to the bear, but Chow was looking for some serious revenge.
It's now 7 hands later. Chow has reloaded and is sitting with 145 grand in his stack, while Barry has almost twice that much in front of him. Here's how we called it.
King 10 for Howard.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot.
I'm gonna muck him this time, though. I'm gonna do something different.
Folds.
Tight laydown from the loose cannon.
King 9 suited for Barry. In the small blind.
There's a raise.
Raises to 5,200. Antonio folds. Chow pocket jacks.
It's been a straddle and a double straddle, which is why the pot's so big already.
52. That's okay.
Chow calls.
You gamble, I gamble. Let's go.
Good luck, Barry.
Barry, this is a lesson in how to go from first to last.
Rick calls.
In the instant of a flop.
Nice flat call by Chow with jacks. He's disguising the strength of his hand. He's in position, and he let Moneybags Raheem in.
Ace Jack 7. Chow flops a set. Barry, the first to act, leads out with 9,000.
Great flop for Chow. His hand is so strong, he'll want as much action as possible.
Chow, smooth calls, and Rick folds.
Again, I like Chow's call. If he had raised, it would have shown a lot of strength, especially with Rick still to act behind. Chow and Barry are old friends, play all the time at Bellagio together. Here they are tangling again.
Barry hits his king on the turn, but he's drawing dead.
Barry may think his king's good since Chow just called the flop.
Barry fires another 20,000.
Chow's trying to decide whether to call or raise. There aren't a lot of hands that have him beat.
Chow just calls.
By just calling, Chow looks weak, and he might be able to get Barry to fire again on the river.
A 9 on the river, a terrible card for Greenstein.
Barry's hand actually improves, which is horrible news for him and great news for Chow.
Barry's going to fire again. 42,000.
No, I think I'm going to quit this game. What is that?
42,000.
What's that? 42?
Despite the fact that he's dead in the water, Barry's making an attempt at a value bet.
Kiss money goodbye again, if I have it.
Kiss it hello, Chow. You're a winner.
30. 30. 42. Don't flop in a set.
Chow calls.
I never said. If your ace is up, it's good.
That's that?
Oh.
Chow shows the goods.
I see.
Chow's been running so bad this session that he forgot to consider the fact that he could have maybe even raised there.
I'm not walking like ace king again. I'm happy to win.
A pot of almost 160 grand.
Chow, you won a pot.
I win. I should quit now.
No, don't quit now.
Of course not. Crazy. I love play poker and I play 2 days. As long as I have money, instead of money, I will play.
Translation, I think Chow likes winning money.
And loves to play poker.
Still to come, Phil and Daniel mix it up.
So when you have a good hand, you raise the max. When you're bluffing, you just raise a little less. Okay, cool, sweet. I'm gonna make it $2,800. Yeah, we gotta play a pot. Me and Helmuth.
And up next, Barry tries betting Joe Catta off his hand.
What's the pot up?
But will it work?
I don't know what that means.
Do you think you can beat this game? For a chance to be a loose cannon and play on the big game this season, log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day.
We've got lots more legendary action when we return on the best of the big game. Welcome back to the best of the big game, Legends Night. This next hand features the legendary Barry Greenstein against Joe Cata, who went on a legendary final table run to capture the 2009 World Series of Poker main event.
Joe was having a tough night, was looking for a spot to turn things around at a table filled with young phenoms. Action began with one of them, Danny Alaie.
Danny looking at 5-4, folds. Nadia, 5-4, folds. Oh, okay, at least it's something different, but Justin still folds. Queen Jack suited. Barry raises to 1,500.
Yeah, I bet against Mike Mattis, so you laid me 6-5.
Queen Jack could easily be the best hand in late position.
Unless somebody's got pocket kings.
Then it's fairly unlikely to be the best hand.
What's spot it?
Remember, we're pot limit pre-flop.
You can make it 53.
53.
And Cata makes it 5,300. Barry calls.
Barry looks like a sorcerer casting ingredients into a cauldron.
The flop. Queen 9-8. Greenstein hits top pair.
This isn't a great flop for Joe. Barry hasn't caught him, but he's got top pair and a gut shot straight redraw. It's a hand that has a fairly good chance of improving.
Action's on Joe. Fires 7,800.
Barry knows his hand is pretty strong in this spot. You can see he's got chips in his hand already. I don't see him throwing it away. He also knows Cata's fired on the flop and then given up a few times already in this game. So it's conceivable Barry isn't putting him on a hand as strong as 2 kings.
Barry raises to 23,000.
19,000.
Barry thinks his hand is good, but basically at this point he's turned it into a bluff. A lot of players will just ship here if they think their kings are good. Let's see how Joe plays it.
Joe just calls.
Just one big $25,000 chip.
The turn, 6 of diamonds. Cata checks.
This is another bad card for Cata. Barry's just picked up 8 more outs. He's added a flush draw to go with his top pair and gut shot draw. He knows he has a ton of outs, and he might even think he has the best hand already.
Barry bets 35,000.
Cata looks sick over that bet. He's finally got the best hand, and Barry is putting him to a heck of a decision. It's fairly well known that Barry's style is to always bet, and that way your opponent's always guessing. At this point, people know he's doing it, but it still works. Cata seems genuinely befuddled. Got almost $100,000 in this pot.
Cata lays it down.
Yeah, it seemed like he had 2 10s.
It was a lot stronger than that.
What does that mean?
Pretty unlikely they had 2 10s. No, I mean, it just felt like, yeah, it just felt like he had to have 2 10s.
We were all talking.
I don't know what that means.
That means I could beat 2 10s.
In this conversation, then we see 23,000 flying.
I don't even want to see that hand.
We've got plenty more big hands to see as the best of the big game Legends Night continues after this.
PokerStars.net is now offering you poker tips directly on your phone. We will send you text messages and video tips from the PokerStars.net pros. All you got to do is text POKER to the short code 52525. Really easy. Text message POKER to 52525 now. Standard text message rates apply.
Yo, I'm Phil Hellmuth Jr., 11-time world champion of poker, the Poker Brat.
Well, Phil Hellmuth is clearly one of the greatest tournament players of all time. He's got 11 braces to the World Series of Poker.
I never thought my image would last this long. I think the public thinks I'm this jerk. Thought people would figure out Phil's a good guy, and he's just the Poker Brat. But they haven't figured it out yet. What I decided to do on my own was to, get rid of the Poker Brat image. Keeping it in control has been, better for me. I think in 2010, I've become a lot gentler. This year, I've rarely lost it. I'm Phil Hellmuth. I'm reformed at the tables, but I'm still a badass.
Alongside good-natured Joe Stapleton, I'm mild-mannered Chris Rose, and this is the best of the big game Legends Night.
And like Doyle, Phil Hellmuth has a hand he's famous for, pocket nines. And in case you hadn't heard, he also sits alone at the top of the WSOP bracelet pile with 11.
And in our next hand, Phil tangles with four-time bracelet winner Daniel Negreanu. Both players were up about 30 grand, and here's how we called it.
Not sure why you chose 55.
Is that the max?
Really? You wanted to raise the max?
Yeah.
How come you do that? Why do you do that?
I want to charge him.
Okay.
In case he has fours and he's going to try to hit a set.
Yeah, you think that's the right amount? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, it depends on my hand, right?
Yeah. So when you have a good hand, you raise the max. When you're bluffing, you just raise a little less. Okay, cool, sweet. Just trying to figure out.
I'm a very complex person.
I'm going to bet $1,200.
1,200.
I'm going to make it $2,800.
Oh, look at this now.
And just after your speech telling me how you only re-raised 3 times.
Well, here's the funny thing about
days.
this hand. You said if I re-raise minimum, that I'm weak, right?
No, yeah, I said that's very possible that that's the case.